The story of San Juan Capistrano Mission. The Mission San Juan Capistrano, often referred to as the Jewel of the Missions, is one of the most historically significant Spanish missions in California. Founded on November 1, 1776, by Father Junipero Serra, the mission was the seventh in the chain of 21 California missions established by Spanish Franciscan priests. Located in present-day Orange County, the mission played a crucial role in the Spanish colonization of California, serving as a center for agriculture, education, and religious conversion for the indigenous Ahachimum people. The origins of the mission system. Before delving into the rich history of San Juan Capistrano, it is essential to understand the broader mission system that the Spanish Empire implemented in Alta California during the late 18th century. Spain, seeking to strengthen its claim to California and spread Catholicism, sent Franciscan priests to establish missions along El Camino Real, the royal road that stretched from San Diego to Sonoma. Founding and early years. Before the permanent foundation in 1776, an initial attempt to establish Mission San Juan Capistrano occurred in 1775. However, due to an uprising at Mission San Diego de Alcala, the priests and soldiers abandoned the site to provide support. When they returned a year later, they found the chapel structure still intact and decided to rebuild. During its early years, the mission grew quickly, introducing agriculture and livestock to the area. The priests, assisted by indigenous labor, constructed adobe buildings, cultivated crops such as wheat, corn, and beans, and built irrigation systems. The role of the Ahachimum people. The Ahachimum, the indigenous people of the region, had lived in the area for thousands of years before Spanish arrival. They had a well-established society, thriving on hunting, fishing, and acorn harvesting. The arrival of the Spanish profoundly changed their way of life. Many Ahachimum were converted to Christianity, adopting Spanish names and customs. They were taught European agricultural techniques, livestock management, and craftsmanship. Unfortunately, they were also subjected to strict mission rules and, at times, harsh discipline from Spanish soldiers and priests. Despite these hardships, many Ahachimum continued to practice their own traditions in secret, blending elements of their culture with Catholicism. Growth and prosperity. By the late 18th and early 19th centuries, San Juan Capistrano had become one of the most successful missions in California. It boasted over 10,000 cattle, sheep, and horses. Extensive fields of barley, corn, and vineyards, making it known for its wine production. A growing community of Ahachimum converts living within the mission's walls. The mission also became famous for its Great Stone Church, a massive limestone structure that began construction in 1797. Designed to be the grandest of all mission churches, it stood 180 feet long, 40 feet wide, and 50 feet high, adorned with intricate carvings and a bell tower that housed 4 bells. The 1812 earthquake and decline. On December 8, 1812, tragedy struck when a powerful earthquake devastated the Great Stone Church, causing its walls and bell tower to collapse. The disaster killed over 40 worshippers who were inside for Mass, and the ruins have never been fully restored. Following the earthquake, the mission entered a period of decline. The Mexican secularization policy of the 1830s led to the confiscation of mission lands, redistributing them to local ranchers and settlers. By the time California became a U.S. state in 1850, Mission San Juan Capistrano had fallen into disrepair. The Rancho era and mission abandonment. After Mexico gained independence from Spain in 1821, the mission system began to unravel. The secularization laws of the 1830s stripped the missions of their lands, distributing them among private citizens. The Ahachimum people, who had once lived within the mission, were displaced, many becoming laborers on nearby ranchos. The mission's buildings suffered from neglect, and by the mid-19th century, the once thriving settlement had become a ghost of its former self. Preservation and the Swallows legend. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, efforts to restore the mission began. Father St. John O'Sullivan, who arrived in 1910, spearheaded much of the restoration work, preserving its historic structures and artifacts. San Juan Capistrano is also known for its famous Swallows of Capistrano phenomenon. According to legend, thousands of swallows return to the mission from Argentina every year on March 19, St. Joseph's Day. This natural event has turned into a widely celebrated festival. Modern-day Mission San Juan Capistrano. Today, the mission is a California historical landmark and a popular tourist destination. Visitors can explore its beautiful courtyards and gardens, historic chapels and museum exhibits. The preserved Serra Chapel, the only existing chapel in California where Father Serra is known to have officiated Mass. The mission continues to serve as a cultural and spiritual hub, hosting religious services, educational programs, and annual festivals to celebrate its rich history. The legacy of San Juan Capistrano. Though centuries have passed since its founding, Mission San Juan Capistrano remains a symbol of California's complex history. It represents the enduring influence of Spanish culture and Catholicism, the resilience of the Ahachimum people who continue to honor their heritage, the power of historic preservation in keeping the past alive for future generations. As visitors walk through its ancient corridors and gardens, they are reminded of the many lives shaped by this historic mission, from the Spanish friars and settlers to the native people who once called it home. Conclusion. Mission San Juan Capistrano stands as a testament to California's Spanish heritage, Native American resilience, and the enduring spirit of preservation. Its stories of faith, tragedy, and rebirth continue to inspire generations. At Kanchaknapong, R6F.